Hey guys, so I need to vent a little bit regarding the step parenting situation. So, most of you know, if you don't, I will explain. I have a 16, almost 17-year-old stepson who has high functioning autism. That has nothing to do with what this video is about, his autism. Um, this video is more about my frustrations with step parenting right now. And I don't want it to seem like I am calling anybody out, but I'm just very frustrated and I need some place to vent. So I'm going to do that here. So I hope you won't judge me for doing so. So last weekend we had Jacob for the weekend, obviously. It has been a struggle the entire time that I have been in Jacob's life, trying to figure out the visitation situation, as far as like, I don't feel that it's fair that I should have to drive all the way to his house to pick him up and bring him to my house for the weekend. And then on Sunday, when visitation is over, bring him all the way back to his house. Now, this is coming from the viewpoint of someone who has been with divorced parents. Not that my husband was married to Jacob's mom, but coming from someone who is familiar with custody and visitation and all that stuff, every time that my mom would have to bring us to my brother's dad's house, who was my adoptive dad, for the weekend, we would have to meet halfway. That's how the court order was. And I think that that's pretty fair. I don't think it's fair for one person to have to do all the driving back and forth. Now, mind you, the reason that they think that it's okay is because this entire time, for the past 16 years or so, my mother-in-law has been just doing whatever they want. So now that I'm in the picture, it's causing a lot of problems. Like, currently right now, the tires on the car that I am driving are basically bald because we really need new tires. I don't have the money to replace them right now, but they are almost bald. There is hardly any tread left. And I was going to use my stimulus check to upgrade the tires, but I had to use it to keep the house. Um, so they wanted me to come all the way to their house to pick him up and all the way back to bring him back. And I told them there's absolutely no way that I can do that. That, like, the best that I could do is to bring him halfway, or meet them halfway, I should say. So they didn't like that. And so they were texting, talking about they shouldn't have to do that and how my husband doesn't do anything for Jacob and he doesn't pay child support, all because at my husband's new job, they hadn't started taking child support out of his paycheck yet. So that's why they were like, you don't pay child support, you don't do anything for Jacob. We just had to buy him new shoes and a new jacket and all this other stuff, which is a lie, because what they bought him was boots for wintertime. They asked us to buy him boots last year. They didn't ask us this year. They asked us to buy him boots last year, and I went to like 3 different stores looking for boots, and all I could find in his size was women's boots, and I didn't want to get him women's boots because I felt like if I did, then it would be another problem. So we didn't get him any boots, and I told her it was because we could only find women's boots in his size. She said, okay. I just bought him new shoes not that long ago. It was like maybe a couple months ago, which obviously teenage boys can be hard on their clothes, but his shoes are still in wearable condition. And I had just bought those. So he can still wear those shoes. He still has them. He told me he does. So I don't know what that was all about. Like, as soon as I noticed that he needed new shoes, I went and bought him new shoes. Because the shoes that they sent him to our house in, like, you could stick your finger through the shoe from the bottom. And anyway, I had sent them a text back when they texted that, and I said, you know, I don't want to get into an argument. I don't want to get into the middle of things, but I just wanted to let you know the situation. And I explained the fact that the tires are balding, and I was told that it's not safe to drive that car super long distances. It takes us about 45 minutes to get to his house and 45 minutes to get home. So you're talking about 4 hours of driving to pick him up, bring him back, come back home. So I said I will meet them halfway, and that's the best that I can do. So then they come back with, we all know that you don't want to be around Jacob, and you don't want to do this, and you don't love Jacob. And it's bullshit, because yes, Jacob and I have had our issues, and our issues are nothing compared to what I put my stepdad through, which is, I'm very sorry about, and I've apologized to him. Now that I'm dealing with a stepchild myself, I understand his frustration and why he reacted certain ways to things that I said and did to him when I was Jacob's age. Which I also think is funny that they said that I don't want to be around him, because if I didn't want to be around him, I wouldn't drive. Like, I've been driving all the way to their house and all the way back, and then bringing him all the way back. I've been doing that. But now that we moved to this house, it's farther and it's not feasible. Like, they keep using the excuse of gas being expensive, but gas is just as expensive for me as it is for them. And, I digress. It's just really frustrating. Like, I try not to get into the middle of anything. And like I told my husband, I will never get involved in a conversation with them ever again. I have nothing to say. The only thing I messaged them about after that conversation was about the fact that when we lived in the apartment, they had given us like a bag of clothes for Jacob that he could wear when he was at our house. Now they've been sending clothes with him. So I went through like the storage totes that we hadn't gone through yet, and I sent back a lot of his clothes. I still haven't gone through all of it, but I went and sent back like jeans. When I was working at the assisted living, a coworker of mine had given me some jeans that were Jacob's size that her son had grew out of. So I sent those over there too. It's just like, I'm so done with all the negativity, all the fighting, all the bickering, all the, jealousy, because that's what it is. Because Jacob calls me mom. I've never once forced him to call me mom, and they are pissed off that he calls me mom. So now he's started this new thing where instead of calling me mom, he calls me ma, M-A. So I just find it funny. I have told him he can call me Robynne. He can call me, I don't know. I mean, I used to call my stepdad Mr. Gill until last year, which is sad. Now I call him dad because he is my dad. I don't refer to my adoptive dad as my dad anymore, but that's off topic. So anyways, I just need to vent. Like, I don't know how to deal with some of these emotions that I'm getting from being a stepmom, and I don't really have a lot of friends that like relate. I do participate in a Facebook support group for stepmoms where we kind of just like bitch to each other about what's going on. But, we do offer helpful advice to each other also. It's just really frustrating because unless you've been in this situation, you don't know what to expect. And even like having a stepdad, having a step-parent, it doesn't prepare you to be a step-parent yourself until you're actually going through it. Some people have really bad experiences with it, and some people have really good experiences with it. And mine has kind of been like mostly good, but kind of rocky at the same time, which I think, like I said, is just more of a dealing with a teenager thing. So yeah, I just had to share that with you guys. So there's a reason why sometimes in my vlogs, I just seem to be really pissed off and stressed out and depressed, and that's because I'm dealing with a lot. Like, they put me through a whole lot of stress. Like, they say that I don't love Jacob, I don't care about Jacob, all this other stuff, but I would not go out of my way to try to find things to do with him, to try to bring him to fun places, to buy him new video games or computer games or whatever he wants for his birthday, for Christmas, all that stuff. Like, I go out of my way to try to find fun things to do. Even if though we don't have a lot of money, there's free stuff that you can find to do on Facebook and stuff like that. And I look for those things. And when I do have the money, we do go out to eat. We went ice skating last year. We try to do fun things. And it's just really frustrating to hear somebody say that, oh, Jacob doesn't like you, you don't like Jacob. It's not true. So I don't know. But anyways, thank you for letting me vent. I will end this video here. And yeah, if you have any topics you'd like me to talk about in a future video, let me know. And I will talk to you guys again in my next video.